Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, GamerK, and as the final video of the month of May, I'm really excited for this one because we are going into another Marvel Villainous guide, and we are going over the threat of Wakanda, Killmonger. And there he is. There he is. This is the second to last Marvel villain character for the starter set, Infinite Power. And let's get down to Killmonger. First off, we start with the game piece. And this is Killmonger's really cool game piece. I like the bronze color that they went with. It gives it a nice shine and definitely gives off the warrior tribe vibes from Killmonger. The nice kind of like shield ring that's on the bottom. If you look at the back, it's the spear. And with his traditional Killmonger mask that he wore once for a little bit in the movie, and I guess a lot in the show. Because again, my knowledge on Marvel characters is not as vast as Disney or DC. So still a really nice game piece, and I like that for the Marvel series they went for a nice full color plastic instead of the translucent one for Marvel Villainous, for Disney Villainous. Just to differentiate the pieces. And I do really love that. You got the horns there. You got the head mat, the fan mat part of the head. It's really threatening. Get it up close and personal. Really cool piece. And we have Killmonger's board, which that really slick, intimidating image of Killmonger. I will show the world Wakanda's true face, and they will kneel before us in fear. Michael B. Jordan was a perfect choice to be Killmonger in this movie. Like, I really loved him as a villain. He was absolutely fantastic. Now we open up the board. We got the Killmonger there, and we got all of his locations. Start selection. We got Warrior Falls, which is that really beautiful image of the falls with the battle arena. Really cool. And then we got the Institute of Technology. Pretty basic, kind of generic building, but for you Marvel fans, you know what goes on in here. And then we got the Great Mound, which is that really sick image on the edge of the panther to the cave and the building on top, the nice palace on top. It's a really beautiful image. And we have the Golden City, which is that deep in the heart of Wakanda. Get the nice scape. Really sweet. And starting off, I will go through Killmonger's objectives. Is to take control of the mines and relocate 2 explosives to any domain other than your own. So that is a really unique way of play. And Killmonger has a special setup, where he starts off with a game tile of Claw, which was the guy in the beginning of the movie. And again, really cool image of Claw with his cybernetic arm with that glowing power. 5 energy, 5 strength. He's a rival. Claw starts the game at the Golden City. When Claw is defeated, flip this tile over to reveal challenge for the throne. Then move the tiles in this pile to the specialty area of your domain. So, start of the game, Claw goes to the Golden City. And again, basically the objective right from the start is to basically kill Claw first. Because you can't do anything else of your... So, the thing I love about the Marvel Villainous game is that the objectives are kind of in certain steps. I mean, I guess the other ones are in certain steps too, but this one is step by step. You can't do one without the before the other. So once you defeat Claw, and there is a card in here that eliminates up to 2 enemies, but they cannot be used for characters who have 5 power or more. So you have to actually defeat Claw in the traditional sense by vanquishing him. And then you flip it, and we get the specialty challenge for the throne, which is that really sick image of the upper perspective of the falls with Killmonger, with T'Challa. Really amazing. And once this is revealed, it goes into the specialty zone where you can activate it throughout your game play. Really like how the Marvel Villainous came up with the specialties for each villain instead of having the conditions that are in the other one. Challenge for the throne. Pay 2 power at the activate location. Find Black Panther and either play or relocate him to Warrior Falls. When you defeat Black Panther, reveal control the mines. And I'm going to get to that again because it's another tile. This is how you basically complete your goal. Control the mines. And it's, again, that kind of a front-on view of the Black Panther cave with the mines and the palace on top. Activate. Pay 2 power to activate this effect. Relocate explosives to another player's domain. If Black Panther is in your domain, flip this tile over. So you do that, and you get a darker, like, better blue sky, red, dark, sinister sky. Really nice image there. The mines are lost. When you defeat, remove, or relocate Black Panther while he is in your domain, flip this tile over. So while the tile is on this, you cannot win the game. But then you just flip it over. And yeah, you can have so many specialties activated at the same time, but you choose whether to do them and if you can. So that's those tiles. And now we're getting on to the villain deck first, as always. And before I forget again, on the back is that super sleek design for Killmonger. We got his mask up front with the necklace. Then we go down to the tapestry of the Wakandian glyphs, I believe, if I'm mistaken. We got Killmonger's sword smack dab in the middle of the falls with all the boulders, the spears coming up. And that is just beautiful. Like, okay, and like I do for the Disney ones and all the other ones, take a screenshot of that. If you are a big Killmonger fan and you want a beautiful, badass tattoo, there you go. Don't say I never did anything. All right, starting off, as always, is the specialty cards. And aside from the 2 tiles that Killmonger needs in order to complete his goal, we have 4 specialty cards in deck. So the first one is Armored Rhino. Just an Armored Rhino. Heroes at Killmonger's location lose 1 strength. So once this is activated, this is an ongoing effect. So let's say there are heroes at the Institute of Technology, and during your turn, if you decide to move Killmonger's piece there, all heroes will lose 1 strength at the location. So that's an active going effect. It's kind of, think of it, if for Yu-Gi-Oh players, think of it like an activated, a continuous trap card like Imperial Order. No one can use spell cards while it's on the field. Same thing. And then we've got 1 copy of Rage of Keluna. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. With that very, really cool image of Killmonger on the cliff with this ancient spirit of Keluna, I think. I looked her up. Egyptian goddess, kind of. Before moving your villain, you may discard a card from your hand to find Killmonger's Fury, then add it to your hand. So this is a really cool specialty in order to get a really good effect card, which you have multiples of in this deck. So that's perfect to get them because that card is going to help you out later on. And then we get 1 copy of Stolen Wisdom, and it's that really nice, kind of simple but epic detail of Killmonger stealing some text from the Wakandian archive. If you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand at the end of your turn, instead of drawing cards, you may reveal cards from your deck until you reveal 2 items. Add those items to your hand, and because it's reveal, I believe when you reveal cards, you shuffle them back, the remaining cards back into your deck, and basically, yeah, you're just searching for items. Really, really good card. And then we have the 1 copy of the herb that started it all, the heart-shaped herb. And that's a beautiful beautiful image of the purple flower, heart herb. With the specialty, gain, play a card. Heart-shaped herb cannot be played if Claw is in your domain. So until you get rid of Mr. Claw, you're not allowed to use the herb. So basically, this just gives you one extra play a card during your turn. And since it's in the specialty area, it affects all 4 of your locations. So again, that's pretty good. That gives you an extra play a card. Now we're going on to the effects. And Killmonger's deck is somewhat effect-based, but primarily more item-based than anything else. We get, let me see. 1 copy of Overpower. And there's that really cool image of Killmonger overpowering a Wakandian warrior. Place a +1 strength token on all allies in your domain. So yeah, definitely overpowering them with literal overpowering. And then we get 2, let me see. 2 copies of Execute Plan. That really nice image of Killmonger blowing up a building with a detonator. Perform an activate action. So with this card, even if you're not in... what locations have the activate action? Just the Golden City and the Great Mound. So this allows you to do it even if you are in Warrior Falls and the Institute. Or if someone on the Golden City is covering it up. Very good card. Very nice. Then we get 2 copies of Taunt. Really nice image of Killmonger with his mask battling at the falls. That classic taunt move. Relocate any character in your domain to a different location in your domain. So basically, you're just moving any character. So this can be ally or heroes as well, to move them where you want them to go. And then we get 4 copies of Killmonger's Fury. Really epic image of Killmonger with the red aura of anger. Defeat a character with a strength of 4 or less in your domain. And this is another good way of defeating a Claw, especially if you've got the Armored Rhino specialty activated, because it will lose a strength, and then you can use Killmonger's Fury, and you get 4 copies of those. So even with Kaluna's ability to replenish them from the discard pile, you got plenty of them. And now we're going on to Killmonger's items, and he's got not many items, but more so of the quantity of them. For example, he's got 1 copy of Hacking Rig, and there it is, of him basically hacking into some security systems. Activate. You cannot activate Hacking Rig if you have the most power. Gain power equal to half the amount held by the player with the most power rounded up. So basically, as long as you are less in power, so playing a lot of cards early on in order to get this card to work to its fullest, and always make sure that your opponents are gaining a lot of power as well in order to keep it in play. And then we have 2 copies of Wound. And there we have, is that Killmonger? I can't really tell. Stabbing one of the other men of Wakanda. When Wound is played, attach it to a character you do not control in your domain. That character loses 2 strength. Nice. And then we have, I can't believe this, 4 copies of Weapons Cache. And there's nice image of a whole bunch of the weapons and artillery that Killmonger has. Once per turn, you may pay up to 3 power. For each power you play, reduce the strength of any character at the same location as Weapons Cache by 1 until the end of the turn. So again, this is another good card, along with the Armor Rhino, of decreasing high power heroes in order to defeat them more easily, so that you don't have to go through huge thing of using multiple characters. And then we have the 3 items that will conquer victory in the game. Explosives. The image says it all. Remove this item to defeat up to 2 characters at this location. Explosives cannot defeat characters with a strength of 5 or more. And by using the relocate icon, you will relocate 2 of these into someone else's domain. And once you do that, you've won the game. So basically, Killmonger's whole strategy is to kill Claw, take over the mines, defeat Black Panther, and then to send explosives into another domain and basically conquer. And now we've got his allies, and there's not as many allies, but a lot of them make up for that. We have 3 copies of Dogs of War. You may play Dog of War to another player's domain. And I really do like the image of them, that they're kind of like a Black Panther cop-out with guns, kind of, but with red eyes. So yeah, sending these into the opponent's realm really, really messes up their strategies if need be. Then we get 1 copy of Wakibi. Wakibi cannot be played if Claws in your domain. Good to know. Your power cost to use an activated ability is reduced by 1. So he's a really good ally to keep the cost of your activations to a slight minimum. And then we have 1 copy of Rook, which is, I gotta admit, that's a really slick looking soldier. When one other ally would be defeated at Rook's location, you may use Rook instead. Okay. Really cool. And then we have a copy of Knight. No additional ability, but she does have the highest level of power in Killmonger's deck. And really, really cool image of this Knight lady with that smoking barrel gun. Really cool. And then we got 1 copy of King. Again, I don't really know that much about a lot of Marvel characters, but this guy looks super old, but he looks super powerful. When King is played, you may relocate an unattached item you control in your domain to his location. Okay, good way of getting all the items around. And obviously now we go to the Fate deck that affects Killmonger, because as we know, when you're playing the Marvel Villainous, all the Fate decks, the generic Fate deck, and all the Fate decks of the villains who are playing get shuffled up, so they all share the same Fate deck. These are just the cards that affect Killmonger more. And we start off with the event card. Every villain gets their own one specific event that affects them. And we have Stolen Antiquities. And that really cool image of there's Killmonger's mask and his sword. All the antiquities from Wakanda. Killmonger cannot play items, which is basically how he wins. So that will be close to Killmonger, and while it's active, he cannot play any items. So what you will do is you will need to send, using the relocate, to send allies whose total strength evens or surpasses the strength of the event. And once you do that, you get the special reward. Killmonger may find an item in his deck or discard pile and play it immediately for free in his domain, which is a really, really good reward. And then we have only 2 effects for Killmonger's Fate deck, and that is Wakanda forever! My throat hurt doing that. And we got 2 copies of that. Find Black Panther and either play or relocate him to Killmonger's domain. If Black Panther is already in play, place a +1 strength token on him. And you get 2 copies of that. So getting back Black Panther into the board and beefing him up if he's already there. And then we have the rest of them, which are all heroes. We have 2 copies of... I really hope I'm pronouncing this right. Dora Milaje? I have no clue. She's got the defender symbol, so this means while they are on the board, you must defeat them before you defeat any other heroes. Here we go. And then we get 2 copies of... Okay, seriously, I really hope I'm pronouncing these right. Hatut Zirazi, which kind of looks like the Dogs of War, but I guess for the good guy side. When Hatut Zirazi is played, choose an ally with a strength of 2 or less, or an item in the targeted player's domain, then return it to their hand. So again, disrupting ally strength, or disrupting Killmonger's item placement. And all the rest of them, the remaining ones all have 1 copy. So we have Everett K. Ross. So I'm guessing his name, also Everett Cross. Whenever K. Ross is played, and you may remove an item from the targeted player's domain. So again, most of these are disrupting Killmonger's item strategy. And then we get 1 copy of Okoye. I want to say I'm pronouncing right, with that beautiful image of the warrior Okoye in the wild plains of Wakanda. That is a beautiful, beautiful image. When Okoye is played, find Dara Milaje, then play that card to the same location, so she gets her bodyguards. And then we get 1 copy of Shuri. I love this girl. I still need to watch the second Wakanda movie. I still haven't watched it yet. Shuri, and I love those claw cannons that she has on her arms. Those are really badass. When Shuri is played, remove an item from the targeted player's domain. Place a strength token equal to the cost of that card, of that item on Shuri. So she really gets a big boost if she gets rid of a big item. And finally, we have the Myth, the legend, the one who Killmonger must defeat, Black Panther. And there is the wicked, wicked Black Panther prowling through the treetops. With 4 strength, Black Panther gains 2 strength while in Killmonger's domain. So that beats him up to a whopping 6 strength. Just a great image. And that's it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you play. That is all the cards and how you play as Killmonger in Marvel Villainous. Thank you for joining me for this video. Hope this kind of guide helped you out. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Join me next month where we begin June. Oh, wonderful! Join me next month where I start off June by going over more ideas for Power Rangers. And this time, we're going to bug out with some royal heroes. This is GamerK, logging out.